All right, here we go. Silly Sammy's podcast, episode 4. I thought of renaming the podcast just to Sam's podcast or Sam's fucking podcast. I don't know. Silly Sammy's, it just doesn't quite ring. And as I stated in episode 1, the name doesn't matter. So, it doesn't matter. So, fuck it. Silly Sammy's. I just thought of this because it's like really I'm not being that silly for the podcast. It's more of a yeah, I have very serious undertones and yeah, so silly Sammy doesn't quite fit. Maybe that's the kicker and that what yeah, whatever. Fuck it, it doesn't matter. Anyway, today was a good day, and I've been thinking about the podcast. I still don't actually have the podcast on the podcast terms. It's just a YouTube video out on YouTube, which is funny. I like it. I'm reverse engineering podcasts, which is fun. I like that. It's just different, and being different is fun. And I'm gonna make it work my way. I'm trying this out. It doesn't matter. This is all fun. This is fun for me. And today was a good day. I didn't do anything crazy. I didn't drive very far. I just explored where I'm at. And a few miles away from me is a park. It's like Lake Shore Park or Lake City Park. I don't know. Lake Bay Park. One of them. It's just a little park. I was going to Stevensville because the place I'm going to next, Kathleen told me, hey, check out Stevensville. There's a road that leads to nowhere, but it's really pretty because it's along the water. And I drove that road. It's actually called 4 Mile Bayou Road, and yeah, and there's flood warnings everywhere with all the rain, and I could see it like along the roads is just a lot of extra water, Even in that little park I went to today, there was a lot of water in places it shouldn't have been. And yeah, so it's technically flooding here, and then there's severe flooding warnings. And it's on the cusp of Mardi Gras, so it's like, is Mardi Gras gonna happen with a flooded Mississippi River? Who knows? With all the rain forecasted, that could be a thing. But it was a good day. I just made the best out of it and really enjoyed everything I saw. And that park was so cool. I got the one of my now favorite landscape photos because when I got to that park early this morning, there was a lot of fog. It was just all clouds, and the lake, and there were 3 dead trees in that lake with birds perched on the trees, and it was calm enough where you could see the reflection of the trees in the water, and I got a good picture with the 3 trees reflecting into the water, all symmetrical, and I was really happy with that. But my most favorite was the main tree, and it just had a lot of Inhinga birds in it. and some pelicans. I don't know if the pelicans were in my favorite picture that I took, and I got this dead tree in the water with this perfect reflection in the water. Well, it was an imperfect reflection. You could still tell there were ripples in the water, and it just looks so cool. It's very dark and moody feel to it, and I just really like it. I was just really happy. Yeah, I switched my lenses. I had my 2x extender plus the 70 to 200 on because I was trying to get pelican photos for Kathleen, who I'll be staying with, and I saw that and I was like, that's the perfect picture. And I went and I switched to my 28 to 70 and took just so many different photos of that because this is like, that's a great shot. And I even printed it out on postcards. So this is the one. So I did one with the three trees in the water. I'm sending to my mama, and then the main single tree with the birds and the reflection. I printed that on a postcard, and I'm gonna send that to my boy Tanner. Fucking love Tanner. We've had Tanner, and I should bring him on the podcast. That'd be a fun time. Anyway, Tanner was my high school buddy, and we hung around and did crazy shit and had a lot of fun for all sorts of years, and I still talk to him to this day, which is cool. So he's a good dude, and yeah, I say when he's like, wow, he's like dark and moody. I like it. Like, yeah, exactly. So that's cool. I don't know. It's fun. It's fun. And with the podcast, I'm thinking just a quick little podcast at the end of each day would be good for my documentation purposes. Just to log where I'm at mentally and physically. They go together. There's so much there, and I just had this such great inspiration to start filming this podcast. I forgot why I wanted to do that. I've been watching the Ozarks for a few hours now. I watched 2 episodes. That's just very interesting show. Just so much drama and things going on. It's really fun. It's quite entertaining. I do like it. And yeah, I don't know. It was just the way today unfolded was cool. Um, I started out, you know, doing my breathing exercise, followed by the cold shower, and then I wrote my journal. It was just like fun, fun, fun. Then I introduced pelicans. I talked about pelicans for a while, and how I thought they were cool, and I loved their wingspan. I like how awesome they are, and how they can eat a giant ass fish and hold it in their little, you know, mouth pouch. I don't know the correct word for it. And then they can fly away with that. So it's like they have a 10-pound fish in their mouth pouch and they can just fly away because they have giant ass wings. Like, that's very impressive to me. And I wrote all that down in my journal, and then the first place I went, at that Lakeside Park or whatever the hell it's called, and there's just pelicans all over the place. And it's wow. And so I did my best to take a bunch of pictures of them, and I got some really good ones, and it was cool. And then, also in the park, there were friendly squirrels. I love friendly squirrels. It's just something about them is fun. A squirrel's looking at you, just like questioning you being there, and it's like it's okay with you, and it thinks you might give it food. And so it's fun just watching them process all that information in their head as they're getting really close to you. It's like, and then at the end of the day, it's like, does this guy have food for me or not? And it's funny, I guess people feed them there all the time because when I was taking pictures of the squirrel, I noticed corn. Like, you know, like corn feed that you'd feed cattle or livestock, it was just scattered all over the ground, and the squirrel was picking up kernels of corn and eating them. So I grabbed one and tried to give it to the squirrel. I'm like, oh, just take it out of my hand, and it wasn't against my hand there in front of it. It just chose to pick up the corn itself off the ground, which I thought was hilarious. And then there was another squirrel on a tree that was looking at me, and I picked up a piece of corn off the ground in front of the tree. People obviously do that all the time there, and they're used to it, and that's why they're friendly. So it's really fun. I picked up the corn, I just like held it in front of the squirrel, and it got close, and then it bit my finger instead of picking up the corn, and I just laughed at that. I'm like, ow, that's my finger. No. It's funny though. And as I was leaving there was a black squirrel too on a tree, and I about just stopped to pull over to try and get a picture of that. Because I was like, wow, that's cool. That's the first time I've seen a black squirrel, which is cool. Cool. And yeah, I don't know. There's all sorts of fun there. Lots of ducks too. And I saw for the first time two male mallard ducks fighting. It was the weirdest thing. It's like they both like pinch at each other's chest, and eventually, one breaks away, and I guess that's the loser. It was just a weird thing to see. That was the first time I've witnessed that. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, maybe I could go pick them both up, and I got really close to them. Just they were so into attacking one another. I was able to get really close to them. Just I kind of wanted to just pick up a duck. That didn't happen. They broke off, and the loser just ran away, and then the main duck just kind of walked away from me. So that's fun. And yeah, I found out today I can get a damn good amount of content in about 3 hours. I really did. I hit the park. I took a shitload of pictures. Left the park, went to Stevensville, rode the Bayou Road, and I whipped out the 360 camera. I held that out my window while I was driving my Jeep to get that. So that's a good 35-second video, and it turned out really good. It was fun. And then even while I was doing that, some dude on a motorcycle past me, and so I captured that whole thing on the 360 video, which was cool. And in my editing, I slowed that down to a quarter speed so you could see it, because that fucker was going fast, and that was fun. And then I went back to the park, and on my way back to the park, I stopped to get gas at Stevensville. And where I filled up, there was a fucking beautiful white moth. One I've seen in Nebraska that had gotten eaten, and I was really sad about it. I thought it was just there. I picked it up and I carried it all the way to put it in my parents' greenhouse because it was going to be stormy. And when I got there and I got light on it, I realized it had been eaten by something. You know, its abdomen was gone. And that was like a bummer because it was really pretty. And then to find that same exact moth at the gas station was cool. I was like, oh, I put my finger in front of it and it climbed on. It climbed on. I was like, oh. And then I learned a fun thing about Louisiana. The humidity here is crazy. So I had my air conditioner going on in my Jeep. So when I picked up my camera to take a picture of the little moth, outside it just fogged over instantly. Just like I was going from a hot house out to the frigid, freezing cold, and then back into the hot house. So, yeah, I put the moth in my butterfly terrarium, and it's like, well, I'll get a photo when later, and I got a lot of good video of it. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. And it has like orange undertones, like under its belly and abdomen and thorax. Like and its front two arms, the little ones, are, surrounded with orange hairs, and it's just really pretty. It's so pretty. And so after all that, I went back to the park, and my Mac, I turned the AC off of my Jeep, and I had my windows down. So when I got to the park, my lens was good. It was no longer fogged over with condensation. And yeah, that moth was just so friendly. I just picked it up on my finger. It sat there, and I took a lot of pictures of it and set it back in there. And I still have it right now. I think something, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with it. It's behaving weird. So I was just like, yeah, whatever. I'm feeding it right now. Like, I set it on. I filled up one of my butterfly feeders with the Gatorade and the cotton balls, and I have that set up to, and I put it in there, and I got the little moth on my finger, and then put it on the feeder so I can eat. Because I don't know. It just seemed off to me. I've gotten a weird sense of bugs from doing this for so long. So it's like if there's something wrong with the bug, I know it. It's weird. It's very weird. And yeah, so it's like something's wrong with it, and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I got some food, and then when it starts fluttering around, it's good, and I'll just let it go. I'm just gonna give it a safe place for a while, because where I found it is just like on a gas station, and a crane fly was just bouncing up and down around it, and that just was like, what the hell's going on here? So yeah, there we go. It's a good day. It's a good day. I like it. I don't know. If you have a better name for this podcast, please put it in the comments below, or hit me up on any fucking social media platform. Pocket Macro, anything. Let me know. I'll change the name for you. And I also had this weird idea today to um, send out postcards. So this is going to my boy Tanner. This is going to the Serenity Acres farm, which I love. Oh, you can't see it. So I have to my buddy Tanner the reflection of the tree that I saw today. That my favorite landscape photo right now. I'm sending that to Tanner, and then I have a bar of Serenity Acres Farm soap that I took a picture of, and I had it on this stone bridge that was in front of the little Buddha temple. So it looks really cool. It looks really cool. And then I'm just sending this little honeybee on a flower to my mama, and a landscape photo of 3 trees reflecting into the lake from the bayou, also to my mama. Because I have this little printer, and I really set it up good to make postcards on the fly, because I had this brilliant idea where I'd be like on the beach and I'd take photos of someone and be like, hey, if you give me X dollars, I'll print you a postcard and you can send it to whoever. So I had all that set up, but I never did that, and then I just realized I had that today and made some postcards, and that made me think, oh, I'll put a story on my Instagram like, hey, you want a postcard for me? Swipe up and I'll send you one. And that goes to my website. I have them for sale for $5, which is super cheap. Most places charge like $6.50, $7.50 for a good postcard. Mine are good, like that's legit. I'm even signing it and writing a special note. So we'll see where that goes. But that's why I did that. I was like, try that. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I don't know. And I did my laundry. I'm super happy. I took a bar of soap on my hat, and because it was dirty, it's like white hats on a goat farm do not stay white for very long. So my hat was filthy, and I did my laundry today, and I took a bar of soap. I just rubbed it on the bill of the hat, and anywhere there was, nasty, dirty marks, and I hand scrubbed it really good. And then I threw it in with my laundry, and after the washing was done, I took my hat out and put it on my head so it still fit right. And yeah, I'm so happy to have a clean hat again. Like, it worked out really good. It's just small things in life make you happy. Like, it's funny. It's funny to me. Like, clean hat, like, you have no idea how happy I am to have this nice, clean white hat. And that's what I learned about white is it looks fresh. It looks totally fresh, and it is very challenging to keep that looking fresh. And I'm happy with a bar of soap and washing it. I was able to get it back to its natural glory. And yeah, that's today in a nutshell. I want to keep these. I think a little podcast every day is good versus one really long one every week. I don't know. It's just fun. It's more or less a captain's log for me. And I've really been starting to embrace the not giving a fuck mindset of, what others think, whether good or bad. Oh, you love it or oh, you hate it. It's like, doesn't fucking matter. I'm just doing this. I'm just fucking doing this. From here on out, and I'd rather do a shorter podcast every day than a long one. And, if doing it every day, I might have a really long one followed by a bunch of short ones, and I don't really care. It just all depends on my day. Like, everyone has and not every day isn't a fucking grand slam. It could be. And it doesn't matter if it isn't. You can still talk about shit. And I don't think duration of the podcast really equates to the value or impact of it. It's just the shit said. You can make a 15-minute talk that has astounding impact for a lot of people. Or you could have an hour-long one that does just as well. Or you could have, a 2-minute one. It's like, holy shit, yeah. I got what that guy said. Doesn't matter. It's all weird. I'm really going with the you create your own reality mindset. And ironically, with that, the first thing you have to do is not give a shit what anyone thinks. And that's funny. So I'm there. I'm pretty much there. With everything that's happened and everything I've seen, it's like I'm there. It's like I don't give a shit. And then with the create your own reality, it's like, well, I'm to the point now in my life where I really have nothing to lose. Like, I don't have anything to lose. So I'm looking at life now as like a fucking video game. which I think is a positive thing, and more will come out of it. It's just I don't care. Like I'm just gonna be myself, and I'm gonna keep pushing this. And I really I have nothing to lose. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen, and I don't care. I'm just gonna make the best of it and see how it all shakes out. I From everything I've read, everything I've listened to, with all that, it's just like, okay, I'm creating my own reality. Then I'm just talking to myself right now, which I am. I got this little device recording me called a smartphone. And yeah, everyone around me is a reflection of myself. So I'm feeling extremely blessed to have been around so many wonderful, amazing people, and I think that's cool. And I guess I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm in a fucking hotel in Morgan City, Louisiana, and I'll be over in Lafayette next week until I don't know when, just to help them out. And I'm on an interesting path. I'm trying to do things different. You know, I don't think you need a job. I don't think you need to be in the machine or the system. I just see so much more. I really do. Just the brilliance and creativity and love within every human being I come across is just magical. And then to see that, and then just look at how society goes about every day, it's there's we're on the brink of something so amazing that you can't even comprehend it, and it's just gonna blow all this bullshit away. I believe that, and I believe that I'll live till I'm 150 years old. So currently at 33, I'm still a fucking baby, and I have a lot to go, a lot to go, long ways, and you all do too. It's like it's funny. I'm piecing it all together, and where I'm at with the create your own reality. I still think that just is basically common sense, is what that's teaching. You know, you can't get there from there. You can't do a quantum leap. You got one little step at a time, and it's so. It's funny. It makes sense. I understand it. I just want that like magic aspect. I really do. To where it's like abundance out of nowhere. I want that, and I know it's possible. I've seen it, and I just gotta get my energy aligned to it. I just have a lot of resistance, and it's funny. So I'm here to pave a new way. And that's what I'm doing. Whether it works out or not, it doesn't fucking matter. I'm just trying. It's all anyone can do. And I think 50 years from now, it's like some fucking kid in school comes across like my archive of macro photos. Like, oh shit! Yeah, I mean, like that way. That's what gets me going. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Shit's weird. I'm very complex. I'm more than just macro photography. Uh, by a long shot, and yet I just keep going to macro because it just makes me happy. It's so fun to appreciate something so tiny that everyone overlooks. There's a sense of joy and happiness from that where you're like, oh, hey, beautiful little creature that everyone pretty much overlooks every day. I love you. I think you're pretty. There's power in that. And I like doing that. Like, but yeah, and that's pretty much what I'm doing every day. I just want to keep being able to do that every day. To just go around and appreciate all the little things in life and share that with everyone else. That's it. That's where I'm at. That'll change over time, but as this time now, what I think is I just really want to focus on the little beauties in life and sharing that with everyone else. Be like, hey, oh, your day sucked? What about this? Look at this cute little fucking squirrel eating a kernel of corn. How cute is that? I think that's adorable. And, I think people are so caught up. They're a little high strung on life, and in reality, life is supposed to be fun. We're supposed to be all playing together and having good times. So, to not see that is like, oh, yeah, it's what we're here for. It's what we're here for. It's what we're doing. It's have fun. So. If shit doesn't feel good, like, get the fuck out. Like, it doesn't feel good. Like, listen to that. Like, if that job sucks you just took, like, get the fuck out of there. There's plenty of jobs. I don't know. It's crazy. Life's magical. And I'm very curious how mine will unfold. I'm just happy today, right now. I had a wonderful day. I saw a lot of cool wildlife. Took some fantastic pictures. I got what I consider my best landscape photo today. And I got my laundry done. I got this hat all nice and clean. It's white. It was so dirty. I wouldn't even wear it. And to have it clean now, it just makes me happy, and it's fun. And I've been watching the Ozark on Netflix, and that's just hilarious. That's a good series, and I like it. So it's a good day. I don't know. This is Silly Sammy's podcast, episode 4, out. Yeah, I'll probably rename it at some point, but that's where we are right now. So we'll see you next time, and I'll still working on getting it online to actual podcast. So right now the podcast is still just YouTube series, which is hilarious. I'll get that worked out. And yeah, I don't care. I'm just, it's captain's log for me. That's That's what I'm looking at it as, and I think that's the best way to look at it. And regardless of any subscribers, feedback, or comments, it will remain the captain's log. I think I'll just ignore all that shit. So I can keep it grounded with me, who I am, and what I'm talking about. And that's the way everyone should do everything all day, every day. Hardcore. All right. Silly Sammy out!